Welcome to Enterprise Toronto. My name is Paul Morgan, and today I'm going to be leading you on how to start a restaurant business. This seminar program is sponsored by the following corporations and government agencies, including Enterprise Toronto, Government of Ontario, and the City of Toronto. Before we get going, I want you to agree with me on a couple of things. When you're starting a business, until you become convinced, others will never believe in what you say or do. You have to be 100% committed to the commitment of opening up this restaurant and doing it properly. Competition is not healthy. I want you to agree with me on that. That you don't want to compete with anybody. What you want to do is you want to dominate a sector. And the way that you do that is by getting skilled up. And you only get skilled up through training. So I take my hat off to you today for getting yourself involved in a program such as this one. And remember that when it comes to your staff, they're only going to have their skill built if you train them properly. The customer perception of your product or business is in direct proportion to the attitudes of the people who deliver that product or service. You are probably going to have a great restaurant which looks good and is clean and has good food. But the key element in any business is going to be the attitudes of the people who work for you. If you have positive people working for you, you're going to have a positive work environment. You're going to have a positive customer environment. Amateurs start a business, professionals launch a business, and you're going to launch your business. You are going to make sure that you dot every I and cross every T before you get going, and make sure that you take a professional approach to everything that you do in your business. From selecting the right contractor, from hiring the right staff, from getting the right suppliers, from having the right printers, print your menus, all the way through. And the marketplace will punish you if you're not prepared. So hurry up and slow down. Go through the process, do it properly, and you will be successful. What's going to happen here today is that we're going to deal with how to open a restaurant, and there are many steps involved. I'm going to walk you through each of the steps, and if at any time in the process you feel like you're getting a little overwhelmed, just stop it and go back and revisit a section. I have recorded this in sections, and as you can see, each one has its own title, its own number. So finish number 1 before you move on to 2, and so forth. And let's start talking about concept. One of the single most important things you can deal with in your business, and you have to deal with it ahead of time. An idea is not a concept. I want to open up a quick fast food restaurant in downtown Toronto. That is an idea. What I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to close your eyes and explain to me in the minutest detail what is happening in your business a year from now. Think about that. Close your eyes and see if you can see everything that is going on in that business. Things like, how big is your store? Has it got 12 seats? Has it got 112 seats? Has it got stools? Has it got benches? Has it got booths? Has it got freestanding tables? Has it got high top tables? How many seats are there? What style of service do you have? Do you have customer service, where you're actually going to the table? Do you have counter service, where the customers are coming to you? Or do you have a hybrid, a bit of both? Do you have catering? Do you have takeout? You've got to understand the different styles of service. Who are your customers? This is huge. You have to be able to identify your ideal customer. It could be that your ideal customer is a female between the ages of 25 and 40 who works in an office, who lives downtown, who is single, or it could be that it is a family man, husband and wife and kids. Who is your target market? And it could be, let's say, if you're in a mall setting, that your target market is the same target market that is in the mall. So you got to make sure that your concept is congruent with what the mall has. If the mall's chasing young people, you have to have a food and beverage concept which is attractive to young people. So you identify who your customers are. What are they buying? What's on the menu? How much are they paying? What's the average spend? Are we looking at an average spend of $10, $12? Moving on, how many staff do you have on? Do you have two people? If you're a counter service, do you have two people behind the counter? One person in the back? Do you have one person out front? Two people in the back? What are they wearing? Do they have a uniform? Is the uniform different in the summertime from in the wintertime? How much are they paid? If you're doing scratch cooking, you're going to need a better quality cook than if you're doing food which comes in packages. So you have to be able to understand everything about your concept so you know who your staff are. Do you need supervisors? Do you need an assistant manager? Do you need a manager? Are you going to be involved in the day-to-day? Are you going to be an active owner? Are you going to be a passive owner? All those questions have to be answered so you understand. What colors on the walls? What music is playing? How loud is it? Think of how many places you go into when the music's wrong, and you know it. It can be a clothing store, it could be a restaurant. You go in and the music is totally wrong, and you know it's wrong because somebody hasn't made that decision that this is what the music is, this is the level that it's played at, this is the station that it's on, whether it be a satellite radio station or whether it be a local radio station. Somebody has to make that call, and that person is you. So therefore, it is congruent with the concept. What's on the menu? At this stage, you don't have to know the exact items, but you should know I've got 5 appetizers, I've got 4 salads, I've got 6 entrees, I've got some burgers, I've got sandwiches, I've got wings, I've got pizza, whatever it might be. You have to know what's on the menu and then what you think you're charging for them. I'm going to be able to sell sandwiches for $8, $9, burgers for $8. I'm going to sell my wings at $1 a wing. And also, do you actually have a physical menu, or are you dealing with chalkboards? You have to fully develop your concept before you start planning anything else. You can't even think of moving forward because you don't know how many people you have to hire. You don't know what food you're bringing in. You don't know what chairs you're buying. You don't even know how big your place is. You got to be able to answer all those questions before you move on into planning. Then you have to test your concept. You have to go out into the marketplace and ask people, I'm thinking of opening up an XYZ in this mall. What do you think? And listen to what they have to say. Refine your concept and then test it again. And once you have settled on a concept, then you can move forward. But don't think for a second that concept development stops when you're opening your restaurant. It is something which goes on continuously. And there's a reason why you need a fully defined concept, and that is because you need to have a financial forecast, and the financial forecast proves that